Go over that again with us?
Yeah. So this, we're looking for just, we put it on here as an action item to get direction to move forward with a motion on a rezone proposal for Harmston Avenue. Can we pull up the camera? Sorry. Here, the zoning map. Yeah, I just wrote those zoning map first. I think that one will probably do. Okay. Then the zone in.
Yeah, correct.
Over here. Okay, so we brought this to you last month for a discussion topic. Tonight we're looking for some direction with the zoning possibilities for a rezone of this area. Currently it's an RM13. We're just talking about, can you zoom in a little bit more? Okay, right here, yes. So Harmston Avenue would be right here behind the Sunrise Title Company. And I can't remember the other.
Mike Swain's.
Yeah, Mike Swain
Mike Swain
CPA. Okay, there we are. So this area right here behind, we would be looking at rezoning or tying to a current zone. Probably the consideration staff would recommend would be an RM13, which would be a higher density zone, just in case that close to Highway 40. If they wanted to do a multifamily, fourplex or something of that nature, they would have that possibility. Or we do have an R16 zone, but currently it does need to touch that zone in order to be eligible for that zoning requirement. So we do not produce islands, zoning islands. So with that being said, we'd like to further that discussion and get your take on this area here. If we want to just do this, or if we want to bring it over to the end of that block and just segue this way, or what your opinions are on that.
Lagoon Street's where, I can't,
Lagoon Street would be here.
oh, it's going there,
Yeah.
okay.
So Jubilee would be
That's
here.
all Jubilee.
Yeah,
Or Vegas.
intersection. Yes. So what has promoted this or prompted this request would be Greg Harmston owns some property on the corner here. He had a home burned down several years ago. I don't know what year that was, but currently under the commercial zone, as that expanded, if it went vacant for over a year, it would not fall under the grandfather clause, so it would be considered a commercial only zone. And he wants to do a residential home in that area as well.
Where's the apartment on the, is it?
Right on the corner there.
Yeah. No,
The-
yeah.
the-
Right,
yeah,
right, that's
above
my
that
house, the one above it.
Yeah,
Now,
right there,
that's the apartment,
yeah.
Okay. So Greg would own the property behind you?
yes.
Okay, perfect. So obviously this would have to come back to planning and zoning. After we notify the neighbors, we would have to do a public hearing. We're just looking to kickstart this with a zone request, and then we can do the public hearing on the next meeting. Just wanted to get your take.
He just wants to build a residential home there?
Yeah,
Single family.
single family. Well, not sure, but he wants to do a residential home that he had there before, potentially.
Which if we did the RM13, could he fit like a duplex on that lot?
Correct. I believe he can.
So, across the street from that, there's a duplex there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are you talking about rezoning both sides of the street or just that
That's-
south side?
That's what I'm looking to bring to you for a little direction. This would be the request, but if we want to take,
No, it doesn't go that far. It's right underneath that arrow right now. Okay,
I understand, but we're
but
looking at,
that's it.
We're talking
Up
about
then,
doing a
his
larger
property.
rezone.
Yeah, but they're talking about,
We're not talking about your
it's just
property,
his property, we're talking about a larger area to rezone maybe.
because you would be on an island.
so a residential zone, going from commercial back to a residential. Right now, currently, it's commercial.
Okay, can I ask a silly question?
Yes, sir.
How would the changing affect me in my house and the apartment house on the corner?
So
I
currently,
don't think it would affect you. I mean, it just may be in your neighborhood, there may be some.
But it changes me from commercial to whatever it is that you're gonna change it to.
a residential zone.
Yes.
And the apartment on the corner, who is now owned by Stacy Molinet, from Farmington area, it would affect that, and it would affect the Bird House and
They're
Tim
kinda-
Rockwood.
So it wouldn't affect, the land use currently, if that was to be constructed now, it wouldn't be allowed under the commercial criteria as a residential lot. So it would be going back to residential would be an allowed use in those areas, in that rezone area. So actually it would be in more conforming use of what you were enjoying as a resident there versus a commercial.
Well, my immediate thought is, I'm in the best of two worlds, because I'm residential in a commercial zone.
Correct, because you're
And I could-
grandfathered in, but you, at current state, you wouldn't be able to build a home in that zone.
Okay,
But the commercial use would be there for future.
but if you change it to residential, would I still be able to run my business out of it?
What do you,
I used to be a property manager, and I managed that apartment for 20 years until the owner died.
so you currently have an active business license with
Not
Roosevelt?
currently, because I retired about 5, 6 years ago. So I'm asking simply how it's going to affect me and what possibilities I might have.
So with that, just a little more information there, Paul, on the business, would it be a home office? Is that what you're running out of that home?
Well, I guess you could call it that, but I didn't have a front or a sign, but my license was, I honestly can't tell you, because it's been 5 years, 6 years since I had my license. But people came to my house, paid rent, registered complaints, made sure that I knew what they had going on. So yes, I had traffic come through to my house. Would that affect, if I were to say for some reason want to go back into business, would it affect me?
Depending on what the outline of the business was, if it's a home, considered a home office, those would be allowed in the proposed zones. And if that would fall under a home business, then yes, depending on the traffic, that's where it gets a little sticky. If you have people coming in and parking, there
In
has
front
to
of my house,
be, there has
yes.
to be parking, but if it's just dropping rent off once a month.
Well, so my curiosity why I'm here is just simply to find out how it affects me in my property, and also so I can pass the word to Mrs. Molinet, what might be happening to her property. And
And nothing will be done without a public hearing. This is just to bring to the body for a discussion. The public hearing will come next month
Yeah.
with more information as far as, and then comment period from the public at that meeting.
then the one other comment I had is the construction phase, if it were to pass, and I don't know yet if there's a thing that I'm concerned about. But one of the things I've been concerned about, and even went down to Moon Lake and asked them if they could do something about it, my electrical supply goes right across that property.
So that would be taken care of during the construction part of it. Before they could build, they'd have to deal with that.
So if they have to take it down, I'm without power?
No, they can't leave it. Yeah, they have to go around it or figure it out. But let's, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but this is just a discussion. It's not a public, commentary. But if it gets to that point, then make sure you get on the roll for when it does become public and you can come in and we can discuss all that stuff.
Well, it's not a very big piece of property either. It's, is it less than half an acre?
We don't-
Are you saying that you actually live there?
I live in that White House.
Right, the one just
Which
south
house is-
of that.
Oh, you're.
South.
You're in that house south.
Right there.
I'm in the house south of the apartment,
Oh,
yes.
this one, where
Okay.
Gordy Harmston used to live.
Okay.
In fact, Greg's father built that house.
Howard.
So I'm okay with the zone change. I think it should just be the south side of the street and keep the north side to Highway 40 commercial.
So the block here,
Yeah,
Down?
and bring it all the way down so that we don't have an island.
so just take this swath down right here.
Yeah,
Okay,
and even the section just to the west of it,
this one here.
is that just housing there?
It's
There's a
not
house and then it's Randy McBride's
storage shed.
storage shed for discount loans that's on the tire.
And then if we keep going south from there with all the
That would
trees,
need to say commercial.
that section right there, we probably need to rezone that also, because isn't that a buildable area there?
This one here.
Yeah,
I think Greg owns that, doesn't
See,
he?
Greg does
No,
own that
that's
one, there's
Greg's
already a
house.
home on it.
so I would say rezone that whole, the 2 blocks and come straight down.
This one may need to stay commercial, depending on what's being ran out of here, that is a commercial business.
I'm trying
We
to
got Freedom Realty there on the
Yeah.
corner.
Well, that's up on 40 though.
No.
Yeah, Freedom Realty's
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
There's a house south
Yeah.
of that, another house south of that, and then everything else around there is Randy McBride's and it's tied to discount loans that's on the corner there.
Okay.
But then there's also that chalet house right behind the birds.
Right. Which Greg owns it,
And he owns that house too,
and
yeah.
we keep that zoned residential.
So if we took that and maybe consider that, we'll reach out to the property owner and see what the temperature is. Okay. Okay, now the zoning, an RM13 would allow for additional dwellings or multifamily dwelling options. R16 is single family. So I think the recommendation from staff with the proximity of Highway 40 would be multifamily with the area that we're talking about. But that's up to you guys for discussion.
And explain the RM13.
So it's 13 units per acre.
Per acre.
You can do 4plexes, 3plexes. R16, you can do a duplex in an R16 with a conditional use permit. But that's it. No multifamily in an R16.
So what are you proposing?
Staff would propose an extension of RM13 to touch here and continue upwards, just because of the density and the location.
Would we want to change, how far down, can you scroll up? Do we want to change that R16 to the RM13 while we're at it?
We've talked about it, that would be an option. The only thing there would be, there is animal rights, not R1 animal rights as far as agriculture, but they do have options for up to 6 chickens, female chickens, 2 sheep, 2 goats under the age of 9 in that area, which the RM would not be eligible for unless they had an acre of ground, which none of these would have an acre of ground.
And you're talking 5, 6 lots there? Are those little lots on the west side, are they buildable on the R16?
They are, yeah,
Are they?
they've got, some of them are built out.
They're
For the most
big
part.
enough to- Click on that little one, see what.
How do you access it?
That's unbuildable because of the
Sorry.
easement for the sewer line that goes through it.
So I believe Dell,
The one right behind Barbara McRae.
they're an extension of if we had the GIS.
Of the forward, they're an
That's
extension
all.
of the others.
And that, most of those are owned by the house in front.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a service road that people go all the way through on, even though it's only on your map shown going halfway.
What do you guys think about rezoning that whole section? The R16 also into the RM13?
I'm fine either way. So you're talking about a combination of R16 and.
So changing the R16 to the RM 13,
all the way up to here.
all the way up to
It's up to this, it'll be on
that block behind
over here,
40.
So we might go R16, we might go RM.
Was it?
Probably around their house. That thousand close there.
I think you get less potential pushback on R16.
Get less what?
Pushback. Potential neighbors.
So Greg Harmston does own the majority of those.
Allows Greg to build his house. Sounds like that's the goal.
So that.
So
that
you're,
whole-
you're saying zone that RM 13, but leave the R16?
I think he's saying extend the R16 up there.
Extend R16 up there, because
So not RM.
all we're trying to do is make it so Greg can build a house. And
Is that what you're saying, Bruce?
It's up to you guys, whatever
What
makes
does it
sense.
need so he can build a house?
Either the R16 or an RM zoning. RM zoning would be multifamily, which would open the option for multifamily in that area.
Which it's a great area for multifamily, I think.
It's a reduction of, the footprint is reduced. The R16 is 6,000 square feet for a single. You get basically multifamily, it's condensed footprint and you can build more, less setback requirements.
You can split that lot and build two on them,
I don't know on the square footage, I haven't,
it's 0.29.
like 2
so
acres.
potentially.
Cause you got a fourplex on the corner, couple of duplexes across the street.
Where's the fourplex?
It's actually a
Right there.
fiveplex.
This right here.
And
is the
current-
fourplex.
Current zoning, it would have to be an RM zone for that use. So an R16 that would not be a permitted use.
Okay, so it's technically already a R.
Well, it's commercial, those are grandfathered in the commercial
Correct.
zone, but at one point it was an
Yeah.
RM zone, so yes, multifamily.
I don't care either way. I think you get less pushback with an R16, but if you see it as a potential multi-housing benefit to the city,
I think where you've already got multiple multi-housing units around there, I think it makes sense to do an RM
is
13.
Is Greg considering that as an option, or is he just wanting to put his house
Not his house, it's just wants the option for residential instead of commercial. At this
there? Okay,
point,
he wants to build a house, most likely side.
sure, yeah, I'm not exactly positive,
What
yes.
What he's done.
Or at least
in the
sell the property and then maybe somebody else can build a house.
Currently, it can't be residential.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what the goal is here.
Right, so with the conforming, one thing to consider is the land use around, where we have the 4 or 5plex on the corner, that currently, if it was to be built now, it would need to be a multifamily zoning, which is the RM 13 or 18. So that makes sense to kind of keep the land use in conformation with what's around that. An R16 extension doesn't, it's up to you guys, but the RM is currently being utilized in that area. That's why we were staff would look towards that direction, but it's up to you guys as far as how you want to do that. That would be
So
staff's
then
recommendation.
are you recommending making that whole section RM 13?
RM 13, yeah, and just joining it all. Getting rid of the R16 and just joining the whole
Yeah,
section,
can you go back to that?
RM 13. Cause the R16, you've only got five
Right,
or six homes there, if that. And if they have chickens now, it's grandfathered in, right?
Currently, it would be, but.
But if they ever get rid of them or move, then they won't be allowed back.
I don't know. I know other
Oh, I know.
areas where there aren't allowed chickens, they have them.
we're not gonna talk.
Right.
That's okay.
How about you, Pat?
Okay, so you're just saying that whole R16, you're gonna move to RM 13
Yes,
and take it upstream.
and then those two blocks
So those
right
two
there.
blocks.
Yep.
I'm totally fine with that.
Another option would be to, can you zoom out just a little bit? If we go that route, all of this is RM18. To rezone this as an RM18, so it's all the
Let's
same.
just do that.
That would-
What's the difference between 13?
18 units versus 13.
Oh, 13, that's it, yeah.
So, and it would make sense to do that under those circumstances of eliminating the R16.
Could we build a single-family residence in there then?
Yes.
They can, your max
Could build,
capacity is.
that would be our highest density housing zone that we have currently. And that would be a suitable area. to
Which
work
it's
at.
still gonna have to meet all the lot requirements and
Correct.
setbacks
Correct.
anyways to be able to put it in, so.
And that's near the college. I mean, it's a, it's a possibility that somebody would
I don't have a mic.
might be interested.
I think we consolidate, I think those are both islands right now,
Yeah,
and I would think I think that's the way we approach it and see what public comment we get, and then we can decide. I think we either do that or we do nothing, but I think we have to get the public comment to decide which way.
I think we could make a decision then that.
This is gonna be a proposal for it.
Yeah, just a proposal.
proposal and then get
And
on
then-
docket.
Then if somebody, we can change.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
We'll have the public hearing, we'll schedule, obviously, we need to notify all the property owners, and reach out to all of them, which isn't gonna be many, but we will need some time to do that. I think we can have this accomplished by next meeting with a public hearing for next meeting, with the proposal of an RM18 in that area.
Okay.
And that'll be the time the public can come and make comments, so.
Can I have clarification what it is you're talking about?
So,
The possibility is that they could actually build multi-units back there.
yes,
Because there's multi-units there now.
There's one multi-unit on the corner.
Correct.
Everything else is individual houses.
And it was built, I helped, I worked on it as a teenager 65 years ago.
And
Because it was down the street from me.
the stories about them building that apartment house is
Yeah,
Are you
Our
looking for a
legend.
vote?
right.
We need a motion to move forward with that recommendation.
okay.
I'll make that motion. Then we look at an RM18.
Make it 18.
Second.
Let's do a roll call vote.
Jeff Baker, aye.
And so I,
John Hellinger, nay, because I'd like it at 16. So that's nay.
Tommy O'Shea, aye.
I'm gonna go with no for the same reason John said.
Keith Goodspeed, aye.
You know that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay,
It passes.
majority passes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Tell your neighbors to come. Public comments, good.
So again,
That's so true.
what is it that you're
RM18
Proposing.
RM 18
units. per-
units per acre.
Not that they have
Okay,
to
the
build.
question then becomes, how big is the lot that he can build on? It's not anywhere near a half an acre.
So he can,
It's .29.
he can only build what square footage he has available, so he can't build 18 units on that,
That's
a
an
unit
acre.
around that
And
lot.
so that will be considered
Yes.
in,
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the reason we did that, is he has to meet all the requirements, all the setbacks.
so in order to build more, he'd have to buy out individual houses.
Correct.
Yeah,
He
and
has
that
to-
would all go
Mine's for
through,
sale.
that would all go through
There you go.
building and,
If you did decide to build multiple family housing, you'd have to bring a plan in with the show to have adequate parking and everything else. I think the likelihood of him building that there is probably,
There's not enough space,
that-
that's why I'm okay with it.
That's not a chance.
I don't believe he's proposing. to
So
build
my
all
question
that.
is, why make it possible to build so much?
so we can go over all that next month in the public
Okay.
hearing. Thank you.
Future state, my good sir,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
future state. What if you do sell?
I didn't
Future
put my
state,
earphones in, Lynn.
Manager report, Drew, you got one for us? That's next on our planning and zoning division manager report.
Okay, so we can cover let's do the
Future discussion.
oh yeah, there we go. Trailer RV park is under future discussion. Okay, so again, Not on the agenda for public comment. No decisions are going to be made tonight, but we need some direction on a request to change the ordinance that we currently have for manufactured home parks and manufactured parks, RV parks.
Is this, oh, sorry, keep going.
Well, go ahead.
Is this mobile home parks and RV parks? Is that what you're talking about?
So currently our ordinance rolls RV and mobile together. And there is no provisions to create new RV parks or mobile parks under the current code. So we've had a request to look into changing that ordinance and to see what the temperature is in this body as far as opening that back up for discussion, maybe creating some zones of some sort to create new RV parks / mobile home parks. I have prepared some comparisons from Richfield,
Yeah,
Hurricane,
that would
Utah,
be good.
and Vernal, Utah, as far as what they're doing. This first one would be Richfield. The circled areas in black, they do have a specific zone that is labeled RV / manufactured. So they roll theirs in as well together. And they do have, as you can see, 4 different areas of their town that are allowing RV parks. And they did build a new one there by the Walmart, south of Richfield, a nice RV park, and that is currently in one of those proposed or approved zones for RV / manufacturing.
That's Hurricane, right?
Sorry, this is Hurricane.
Oh, Hurricane, okay.
I-
Are those predominantly to accommodate tourism?
In their ordinance, it is more for tourism, 30-day max stay in some of those, so short-term, not long-term stay.
Yeah.
In some of their ordinances, it differs from community to community.
How
But
many of them are long-term out of those 4 that are circled?
in their ordinance, it is basically short-term. They do have some provisions for 6-month stay under new construction, but in those areas, that would be the short-term.
Okay.
RV camping / and in some of their codes, it's under camping, RV / camping.
Yeah.
In other codes, other cities that we looked at, it's mobile home, like Vernal is mobile home / RV. Richfield was the same. So that would have been the Hurricane map that we showed. This would be the manufactured ordinance that they have. And we can send this out in an email for you to read over and mull over as well. If you keep scrolling down. I also attached their Vernal. So Vernal City, the pink areas is their RV / manufactured home zoning that they are allowing and permitting manufactured / RV parks.
How many of those are grandfathered in and how many of them are new?
I don't have that information on
Okay,
that
so
one.
we could be going back to 50 years ago, that was zoned that way, and they just kept it.
Yeah, perhaps. In this one, I'm not sure on their, actually I have their code attached as well. I'm not familiar with Vernal's trailer
Are
courts.
those lots now with single-family homes on them? Now that you pointed it out? Like, yeah, that one.
That's an RV park.
Is that an RV park?
Where?
It looks like lots.
Trailer, RV.
Trailer RV.
That's right by Heat and Tire and all of that,
Mhm.
and all of those manufactured homes that are back there.
So, and then Hurricane Utah's map that we looked at first. Richfield, I didn't get their map printed off, but it's similar. They do have certain areas of their community that are spot zones, more or less, for the RV / manufactured housing.
So when we talk about RV / manufactured, I mean, they're part of it will be RV and part of it be mobile home.
It could be permitted for either, if they wanted to do, like, the Rosie trailer court that come to you the last couple months, some of it's going to be existing, some of it will be new, RV park. Give the leniency under the code, they still have to comply with the code, have the density, the roads, the hard surface. But what they do within that, they would be permitted under all of these ordinances that I've looked into, would permit either RV or manufactured housing parks.
If it's manufacturing, do we still have to have sidewalk, curb, gutter?
In these codes that I looked at, yes, they did have those provisions.
Okay.
But currently, we don't have anything in ours, so just print, or just attach these that we can send out for you guys to read, and we would be looking for some recommendations on this. If this is something that, if you want to create some zones like these have, we would need to identify some of those zones. Currently, we have Deer Run, which is on Fifth East, that is a grandfather RV / manufactured home park. Timothy Trailer Court, which is east of town, by the elementary school, East Elementary. Poco Acres, they do have some trailers down in that area, and that one is really, really old. I'm not sure exactly what the name of that, Lynn, you might know more on that one.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of
But
it.
there is an existing trailer court grandfathered down that way. Steve Yak's trailer court on State Street, just behind the
Yeah.
Maverick. And Rosie's trailer court, which is receiving an overhaul through your approval the last couple months.
I was out there today and it isn't happening yet.
Gotcha, work in progress, so.
I drove through it, they cleaned up a bunch of stuff though, they had multiple,
They had some junk behind there they hauled off.
yeah, I mean, there's definitely still a lot of work that needs to happen, but they pulled off a lot of junk, it seems like.
I think one of our problems is, you know, that we've made this rule against all this stuff because we've had some parks that are bad, and I think that's partly that the city hasn't had ordinances and enforced them and you know, which we need to do so that we don't get, we don't get them looking like Rosie's out there was.
Right.
Or, and there's some others that are, but you know, I mean, the need for an RV park, do you know how many RVs there are in the little park behind Maverick that's in Ballard? How many do you think there are there?
Oh, there's like 70, there's a lot.
Oh, there's 52. I mean, they're just packed in there because there's a demand for that and we don't allow it, so they've done it Ballard and doing it Martin.
And I see police officers parked in front of those areas every time I go get it.
Do you know if Ballard has a term limit, like a stay limit?
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
think
the
so.
Ballard ones, I know.
Like, I'd be curious what the demand is, cause my guess is the demand is not 30 days.
No.
And I think all the examples we're looking at are 30 short term, right?
That's correct.
I don't know that, I mean, the problem is, if you get one of those, you know, here, I mean, we aren't strictly recreation, so, you know, if you had 30-day limit, why you're gonna have some in the summer, but what are you gonna do all winter? You know, and it's, you put all that investment into it, like, I mean, those in Ballard, they're not moving out after 30 days, there's no way, I mean,
So do we really need more trailer parks, or do we just need housing for people? Because to me, that's what it seems like we need is, because those people are pulling those trailers in and they're staying for years because they work in the oil field.
They're not permanent residents. They're here for a job, and when the job's over, they're out.
And when I first moved here, I moved here for the oil field, and I lived in a trailer for 2 years.
Yep.
If I would have been able to find a house that I wanted at the time, then I would have bought a house. So do we really need more trailer parks, or do we just need affordable housing?
That was gonna be my question, Drew, is why is this coming up? Is somebody wanting to put in
Yes,
trailer parks?
yes, we've had some interest, Lance Denver is with us tonight, but he's had some interest, to put a trailer court in some property that he owns out in the industrial area. And, I was given direction by, management and legal counsel to get some comparables to bring to this body to get that temperature and fill you out and move forward.
well, we're forcing it, the way we are right now, we're forcing it into Ballard and into Pine, and you know, there are places within the city. I mean, I think we need to avoid doing it in, you know, in the residential areas, but there are areas where they have a good access and, where that kind of thing would fit, and, I think we ought to open our city back up to that kind of a thing. We need to be mindful of all the rules and so forth, and then the city needs to enforce them so that they're maintained, so that And I really would like to see maybe a committee that would go, you know, on an annual basis and inspect them and then give a report. So those folks had a report. I mean, if there was some negative things, well, they could work on improving them, but instead of just letting them go south and.
Who pays for that? So you very limited property tax. And then you're gonna have high oversight, so who pays for it?
So,
Well, it's not gonna be high oversight if you do it annually and,
so enforcement's based off of complaints. So basically, there hasn't been any complaints, is how I understand it, right? Like Daniel Butcher, he's our compliance officer now, right? But he goes off of complaints. Or does he go out looking for stuff?
Yeah, so actively, the code enforcement officer now is actively pursuing violations.
He's looking for them? Okay. But complaints always help, right?
Sure, you bet. Always.
But who wants to complain? Because, you know, I mean, if I've got an old junky truck in my yard, I don't wanna complain about my neighbors.
Yeah.
Cause then somebody's gonna complain about mine, but, so, I mean, it's,
Well, I go back to the question. It seems to me that trailer parks are not quite the same as RV parks.
Correct.
And I think, first of all, we need to separate that.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if anybody else was thinking.
I'm totally fine with recreational RV parks, say if people wanna come in here, 30-day stay like Hurricanes, but packing in 52 trailers in a small lot, like.
I just don't think you have the demand for that either, though.
I don't either.
I'm with Hank, that, I think sorry, Dale.
Yeah, we're solving the wrong problem.
I think that, I'd be more in favor of tiny houses or whatever we wanna call it, you know what I mean, that's gonna, I don't know. It's just kinda interesting that last month we talked for an hour that we hated trailer parks. Now we're here talking about maybe putting trailer parks in the city, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the right answer is.
We're talking about, first of all, some of them are talking about RV parks rather than trailer parks, mobile home parks.
Depending how the ordinance is written, right?
which ours is together.
Correct.
Okay, so I guess we've got a lot to think about over this next month. Do some studying and checking on our own, and we'll get back next month and.
I'll email this out tomorrow to all of you as commission members to review what I have as far as the data we can provide.
The other thing I'd be curious on is if there's comparable cities that also don't allow either.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just to see if Roosevelt's the only one that's kind of in that boat.
You know, we have people come here for ball games up at the park and they'll bring an RV and there's nowhere to go, so they just leave it there. You know, and that's really against our ordinances, but we leave them there because they haven't got a place to go.
And it may be something to consider long-term and short-term, maybe have a
Correct.
part of that short-term criteria in the ordinance, so we can accommodate some travel and tourism as well, because right now, there is nowhere to stay because it's all long-term.
Yeah,
Okay, thanks, Drew.
Things to consider.
Dale,
Yes,
I need a little clarification. Duchesne County does not allow an RV to be used as full-time residence. There's no place in Duchesne County that you can legally live in an RV year-round. Now, it appears to me over here behind Maverick that they're doing that. And it appears to me that in Mighton they're doing that, and it appears to me in Duchesne they're doing that. Are they doing it in violation of some rules, or is that the way it's said?
because our RV and manufactured home is under the same regulation. So if there's a trailer park, say behind Maverick, and they pull an old junky trailer out of there, it's still under the same regulation, manufactured and trailer park. So they can pull a trailer back in, park it, and live in it full time.
An RV, not a
Yeah.
mobile home.
Yep.
And Roosevelt would be the same way, that if we have an RV park, they can live in it
unless we
year-round.
Unless we put some guidelines and guidelines.
Yeah, as long as it's in a manufactured RV, because it's all conglomerated in the same thing for us, for Roosevelt.
you know, there are advantages on both sides, but, you know, I mean, it'd be nice to have the short term, but if you're gonna build one of those, that's a lot of expense if you're only gonna have residents there 3 months a year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions for me? I don't
For
have
the winter months?
any other
This place is
management
the
report
best during
items.
the winter.
Okay, thank you.
Well, could I, is there one more item on the thing, or are we done?
Nope, that's it.
That's it.
Well, it talked about, okay, never mind.
Thank you.
I got confused.
Thanks, Drew.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who's gonna say no?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, right, through the bottom.
You know, I've got a list of